Watch What Crappens and Reality Gaze Christmas Crossover Spectacular. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Say hi, Ben.
Hi.
That's Jake over there. Say hi, Jake.
Hi.
And that's Matt over there. Say hi, Matt.
Hello, sugars.
Okay, you guys take over. That was my intro. Go. You guys tell them what's going on. I don't need to control everything this time. You see, I've learned. I've grown.
3 years already, so now it's the fourth one. And, right? This is number 4 for us.
I think this is number 4, right? Yeah. I think the first one we did was
Holiday.
The Netflix Holiday. Then we did, I think, the one with the Pioneer Woman pertaining to peppermint, etc. There was a peppermint issue in a town. And then last year was the Lindsay Lohan one. And then this one is this year. We are recapping the seminal cinematic masterpiece known as Ladies of the 80's, A Diva's Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. That's if Jake wrote it. It would be called Ladies of the 80's,
It's like a paper you write in grad school. They all need colons. There's a title and then a subtitle.
That's true.
And I don't really think that we should just be calling it Ladies of the 80's without doing this.
Oh, God.
Of the 80's. Ladies.
The lyrics are so bad I can't remember.
I wrote down all the lyrics.
You guys,
have
what a song.
Living minute by minute.
Out of my head. Living minute by minute. I mean, that's
Because
so sad, isn't it? Ladies we're just living by the minute.
What I really like about this theme song, first of all, I woke up with it in my head. That was the observation I've been waiting to say since we got up together in this room here. I've been singing the song since I woke up. But it also reminds me of Alvin and the Chipmunks because it sort of has that kind of generic Saturday morning cartoon lyrics, right? Because I think that one of the lyrics is "We're the ladies of the 80's and they're putting on a show."
Yes, that is one of the lyrics.
It's very like watch out, here we come, we're the Chipmunks, you know?
Did anybody write the lyrics down?
I sure did. I'll get them up.
Thank God.
Okay, so just real quick. So this is a crossover episode. Reality Gaze, Watch What Crappens. We're talking about a Christmas movie. So welcome to Christmas week. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah. We're on vacation right now.
Hanukkah.
So that's why we did this earlier for y'all.
Yes.
So that way, when you're dealing with your mother-in-law or your family, or even if you hate your children, whatever, you can just listen to us instead and have a better time.
Go in your back room with your pet because they're the only one who understands you at this time of year.
Yes, and whoever you like best between Watch What Crappens or Reality Gaze, we'll have a contest. I'm just kidding. Whoever you want to, just go to our Patreon.
Hunger Games.
It's available as a video. These are all videos through our Patreon.
Yes.
And also audio. So we'll be coming at you all week. We never know how long these are going to go. We warn you now. They're offensive.
Oh, lovely.
And
lovely, Ben.
They're meandering, and they're not going to make much sense. And we talk over each other a lot. So to all the listeners out there, thank you for being with us. Good fucking luck. Let's get to some lyrics, shall
It's
we?
like Christmas dinner at your house. People talking over each other.
Yes.
Exactly. So as previously stated, we are recapping the Lifetime movie, Ladies of the 80's, A Diva's Christmas. And there is this wonderful musical montage right in the middle, which really this music should have been right at the top of the
Totally
movie.
agree.
So it's the song, the lyrics, the full lyrics. There actually are some verses, and the lyrics are, "The past is in their rearview mirror tonight. Living like the best is still to come. Groups back together and they know what they like because ladies just want to have fun. Sassy when they talk, sexy when they walk. They're younger than they've ever been," which is actually impossible.
Let's just stop for a minute.
They're
Wait, hold on, pause. We need to analyze what's going on here. First of all, no one is younger than they've ever been. That's just actually impossible. That's humanly impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sassy when they talk. The problem with this film is they weren't very sassy when they talk.
Weren't.
They were just kind of good to see ya. They're like, these ladies are going to have some big trouble. And they're like, good to see you. I'm eating pretzels at 2 in the morning. What?
That was overpromised for me. That there was the overpromising sassiness and fighting was such a disappointment for me.
It was not there.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the vibe of this movie. So either way, but they're younger than they've ever been. Okay. And they're going to strike a pose so everyone knows divas making history. They're the ladies of the 80s, living at large, minute by minute. They're the ladies of the 80s. It's their world, and we're just living in it. And then the best part, yes. Ooh, 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 yes. Ooh, 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 ooh,
and they're putting up strings of popcorn.
Yes. All eyes on them, no matter where they go. They're the ladies of the 80s, always putting on a show.
Okay, now, Matt,
well done.
We were all texting each other about like what a jam this song was. And then Matt was like, I can't believe they didn't give credit to KT Oslin for her song 80's Ladies. So then he sends us this music video of 80's Ladies. This is how these lyrics begin. We were three little girls from school. One was pretty, one was smart, one was a borderline fool. I'm like, this is cute. Ladies from their hair is going to get bigger and smaller, and they're going to get they get old and one of them dies. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Why would you send that to me?
That's
and spoiler it, KT Oslin died of cancer recently.
No, COVID.
Geez.
COVID, not cancer.
She died of COVID?
She died of COVID during the thing, yes.
Oh my gosh, bless her heart.
But that music video,
sweetheart.
I'm a country queen. That music video is like a part of every gay boy who loved country music in the 80s experience, because it actually leaned into the drag queen, where I feel like this movie hinted at drag queen. Like literally, this slap montage is just taken from RuPaul's Drag. This is a challenge in RuPaul's Drag Race.
Is it really?
Yes, they have a slap challenge. Remember that?
But
like
without the camp factor.
But without the camp. Yeah.
That was the one moment of this movie that I truly enjoyed. I was like, I thought when there was like when Morgan Fairchild does a double slap, I was like, I actually laughed, and I was like, oh my God, this looks like it could be a funny movie. I'm just gonna say this right now: of the 4 movies that we have recapped for our holiday extravaganza, this was by far the very worst. This was the worst. I've never seen. Okay, these movies in general, the genre is like, they're terrible movies. That's like part of the fun of it. But this was like beyond terrible. I've never seen a movie with such low stakes. There were no stakes.
Did they spend it on all the talent? Because the lighting was terrible. The camera work was terrible. I don't know where they got this woman who played the ingenue.
Okay, we're gonna have a lot. I have a lot to say about her.
Lot to say.
I have a lot of questions about her backstory.
Yeah.
Yes. And his backstory that make no fucking sense to me.
Yeah. Also, like, how do you have a holiday movie set in Los Angeles that never has the obvious moment where, like, I can't believe it's actually snowing on Christmas in Los Angeles? They don't even by the way, they don't even bother having fake snow come down in their movie. Like, they just don't even.
The movie starts with that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Go ahead, Bood.
I don't even know what the series, the movie within a movie or episode within an episode was about. I don't think it was important to them. I think they just created it for the women to fight, and they didn't really fight.
They didn't fight. Okay, here's what I was telling Dan. I think that what happened was they were like, oh my God, we should do a thing where we get all these divas from the 80s. They'll all be in a soap. It sounds hilarious, right? The pitch is great. They're all on a soap opera together. They have to work together, but they really hate each other. How is this going to work? This should have been hilarious. And then the guys they hired are great. They're Golden Girls writers, for fuck's sake. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I looked them up, and so it should have been like that. I think they turned in the script, and then Lifetime. And yes, I am blaming your asses, because you guys think it's okay for every movie to be about women being chased down by Rob Lowe and stabbed to death or whatever.
Ooh, hot.
But then God forbid you have some women getting bitchy with each other, because I know that Lifetime had a damn meeting where they were like, you can't have them be mean to each other. People watch Lifetime for good feelings. No, they don't. They watch it for terror. I have a mother.
I have pitched to
I have a mother.
I got to say, to validate you, I have pitched to Lifetime and literally was told that.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, yes. They need to get along. We don't want anything too mean. And I went, this
Wow!
is Christmas.
I have to say that, you know what? In some ways, this movie felt like it was a script that the writer pulled off the shelf and was like, "Let me adapt this to be a holiday movie." Like it was originally
That's
supposed to be
exactly what my
something
theory is.
about like soap stars coming back together, maybe like a pilot, and instead it's like, "Oh, let me repurpose this to make it into a holiday movie," because the holiday stuff was so wedged in there.
Right.
Like it was really not about the holidays at all. Like they
is
like,
why-
"Oh, maybe we
that
should have
is
a scene
literally my
about
first
mulled
note.
cider."
What's your first note, Jake?
That was my first note. It seems like this was repurposed for like Mother's Day, or it was about
Yeah.
another, or just about a soap, like them getting together, and the Christmas aspect of it was kind of like the icing was glazed on.
Right.
yes.
Well, just put a cone on it for a couple of weeks because this dog's been neutered. Okay.
I realized I don't know if this is appropriate to say or not, but in this day and age, I haven't watched a movie that's made in 2023 that had just white people. Because this movie did.
That's true. I was thinking that too. I was like, there was nobody from the 80s you could have chosen that wasn't blonde and white.
know.
I mean, the only minority in this
Hey,
was fucking what's her bones with the darker hair.
They had Hollywood Tonight reporter, and he was stealing
Evans.
every
Okay.
scene he was in.
Well, no,
I
and
love Scott
Donna Mills'
Evans.
daughter.
Donna Mills' daughter. I love Scott Evans. I fanned him once in West Hollywood. He is very
You're
hot.
thinking of the wrong Scott Evans, sweetie.
No, that's his name. Scott
No,
Evans.
his name is Scott.
His
You know what?
name
Can I
is
tell you
Evans.
something? Scott Evans of this movie, he once followed me on Instagram, and I was very excited. And then he stopped following me, and I was very
Oh.
sad. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow, my content is that bad that Scott Evans unfollowed
get
me.
We're not talking about Scott Evans, Chris Evans' brother.
No, we're talking about
his
Scott
names are
Evans.
two different- Scott
the
Evans,
Access
the man in
Hollywood.
this movie
Yes.
from Access Hollywood. I will
Got it.
say too, like, because I wrote it in my thing, like, where's Jack Hay in this movie?
Exactly. Where's
Good
Jack
one.
Hay,
Good
or
call.
even
Marla Gibbs.
like Anna Marie Hornsford, or
Oh my
Marla
God,
Gibbs.
Anna Marie Horsford. Oh,
Or like, there's like just any number of people that they could have chosen, but Jack Hay would have been actually a wonderful
She
one.
would
Jack Hay would have
because they
been
needed
fantastic.
some. I think this movie felt sterilized.
Maria Conchita Alonso.
It just needed.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
It needed like.
I mean,
just-
Charo, just put Charo in anything at this point. Like, I don't even know
yeah,
if that
yeah,
goes with the casting, but like, I follow her Instagram and she's amazing. So,
I mean, this also may speak to also the diversity issue of like the evening soaps of the 80s too, right?
That's true. Yeah,
That
that's
is true.
but it's not like there was nobody. I mean, to just be like, well, that was the 80s. There weren't black people then. I mean,
Diane
what the hell?
Carroll.
I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm
No, I
saying
know.
true. Diane
lifetime,
Carroll
you know?
did.
But Diane
No!
Carroll died. I was gonna say Diane Carroll.
Yeah, Diane Carroll died. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Well, Jake just
I'm
caught up. y'all.
devastated.
What about Diane Kruger?
You leave her alone. Diane Kruger is still with us. She's going to do the ladies of the.
Ladies of Germany.
don't talk about me like I'm not here.
We are the ladies of Germany, and we do not celebrate Christmas unless we want to.
I am very blonde.
Yeah. So it's okay. Help me remind me. So Lonnie Anderson was WKRP, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
on Easy
even
Street.
better, she was the one with Linda Carter, your other favorite, where they were detectives for a year, remember? And they were like, oh my God, let's sneak into that rich person's apartment. And then he would close the door and they'd put the credit
I
card
don't
in so he
remember
couldn't lock
that.
it.
Oh,
You don't?
yeah.
What was
By
that
the way,
called? Ben?
So
We've
I
talked
used
about
to love that show.
It was
Wasn't
so
Easy
good.
Street? I remember I remember that detective one, which was By the way,
And
also Kim
Partners in
Fields would have been a
Crime.
good choice.
Partners in Crime.
would have been great.
One of the
Yeah.
best. One of the best television shows. Only a season, as I recall. But
Only
God,
a
what a
season.
show!
I remember that she was an investigator. Yeah,
I'd like to say
1984, I was
one of the
11
best
years old.
television
Nine-
shows.
11 years old. Yeah.
I'm
I was
actually-
11 years old, guys. Just think back. Me looking just like this, exactly the same, with hair and basically everything else is exactly the same. Okay. I just wanted you to picture that. Carrie.
I pictured that. So, okay. So, Lonnie Anderson, Morgan Fairchild. How is Morgan Fairchild famous? I forget what she was on.
I think she was on. Was she on Dynasty? Knots Landing, either Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, Dynasty, or Dallas. I'm
One
gonna
of
say
them.
those.
She was also like she's been moms on like things like Melrose Place, and like she's been around. She was
on
arguably
Friends?
Yeah, she's arguably one of the people who's had like the biggest career after this, I would say.
Yes.
I
Yes,
think-
she has worked, and I think that actually, she once was in a TV movie that I loved. It was like a parody of TV movies. I think it was
Crest.
like, was it
Falcon Crest?
Okay.
It was. Thank you.
So Morgan Fairchild was
love
on some
Crest.
TV. It was like for Fox or something, and it was something like Stay Tuned, or I don't remember what it was called, but I absolutely loved it. And I once went to a taping of that 80's show out here. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was a
Oh God,
spinoff of
how long was that on?
like
a season?
5 episodes, and I went to a taping of it.
I think Partners in Crime actually outlasted that one. Which,
It probably did. And Morgan Fairchild was a guest star on that 80's show, and so she came into the audience to take questions, and I asked her, I was like, I just like asked her something like, whatever happened to that TV movie? It was great. And she was just very active. She goes, yes. That was a wonderful TV movie. We had a wonderful time doing that. Thank you so much for the question. Okay, who's next?
She doesn't remember it at all. She doesn't remember it at
It was
all.
a wonderful day.
Wonderful day.
Wonderful way of
Actually,
filming.
pretty good in this movie. Okay, then there's Linda
she
Gray.
was
who
good.
I, knew
I
from
was
Dallas.
going to say she's the
She was
best
the
thing,
best,
I
I
think.
thought.
Donna
She was
Mills,
the
I think,
best.
did great too. Donna Mills came in with kind of a weird accent that
Okay.
she's doing at the thing.
I-
I'm not really sure, but
I had
Morgan
issues
was.
with lots of the. I think some of it was dental work. Donna Mills
Yes.
kind of had a Jodie Foster thing going the whole
Yes.
time.
I really thought it was Anne Margaret at first. I'm not even
yeah,
joking.
it was very
I-
Anne Margaret.
I'm real. Her eyeshadow is so terrible. Like they actually, like it actually looks like when I used to do, because when Jake can, well, Ronnie too can, like when I used to do opera in college, and the way people, you know how someone in community theater or in opera would do their makeup so heavy-handed for an audience of 200 because they're doing opera. They like
50-foot space.
Yes.
Yes, it
Oh,
looks
remember
like
the
the
aging
old-
makeup? That's my
Yes, it
favorite.
looks
When
like
people,
old
like,
aging makeup.
take an eyeliner and they put
They
like big
drew it-
lines on their face. They're like, I'm
Yes.
old now.
And apparently she wants to make her eyes closer together and do a crease. So they literally just like the makeup. The artist didn't even blend. They just drew like blocks above her eyes.
It
Well,
almost
that's the
looked like
thing.
Japanimation. Like it almost made her look animated.
Here's the thing.
May
We're not shaming her. We're shaming the makeup person or
Oh, yes.
whoever's supposed
Makeup
to make this
person, yeah.
better. Because did you know Donna Mills is 82 years old?
Shut
up. This is nuts. That is, she looks, I mean, listen, they all look
Wow.
amazing, you know, so no one's going to be coming for anybody's looks. We're just saying, like, the TV makeup. Like, if you're going to get all, they basically just rented an Airbnb and put a bunch of people in there, and they literally were like, let's just make it up. Even the main guy, the young person, didn't have a script. He was writing it as they went. Like, how
Okay,
does that?
Again, I
How
have
do you
lots
sell
of
that?
issues.
A live event with no script.
It was.
I
There were a
think
lot of,
Linda
a
Gray
lot of
looked
issues.
the best, and she's the one you can tell who hasn't had any work.
She
Is
has
that?
She's
Linda
like, how
Gray.
dare you? I've spent
Linda Gray,
thousands.
even if
Linda
she
Gray,
did,
by the way,
also
was
looks like she didn't have.
She was recently in Nope. I was like, well, look at you being in a
Ah.
like an actual big movie.
She's my favorite of all, because I love Dallas so much, because I used to watch it with my mama and my aunts.
Well, she was also great in this. I think all the ladies were pretty good in it. I mean,
They were,
Linda Gray was really funny. I don't remember Linda
Lonnie
Gray
Anderson-
being that great before. I just remember her being kind of boring. I don't know why. Maybe because she
I
was
think
always
Lonnie
the brunette
Anderson
one.
was.
Lonnie
Lonnie Anderson had some
Anderson.
challenges, I think, with some of her line
Excuse
readings.
me, I don't want to give away a spoiler, but what she did at the end was bravery. Okay, Purple Heart worthy.
That was one of the funniest fucking things. I had to pause it and run around the room when it happened.
Okay, wait. May I circle back to something? I mentioned that Morgan Fairchild. I saw her in this TV movie. I've looked it up. The movie was called Based on an Untrue Story, and this is the plot description. Okay. Perfume creator Satin Chow. That is her.
I'm done. I already changed the channel.
Morgan Fairchild. Morgan Fairchild plays Satin Chow. So, perfume creator Satin Chow is about to reveal her new designer scent, Puppy, when she is cruelly struck down by a rare condition called anosmia, which robs her of her sense of smell and could even kill her. With time fast running out, she begins a frantic search for the only people who can provide the tissue donations she desperately needs, her long-lost sisters, Corduroy and Velour.
This is
Okay, this
gay
is good.
paradise.
Needed to be.
And And the other people in this movie are Ricky Lake, Victoria
Yes.
Jackson, Diane Cannon, Dan Hedaya. Like, you can see as a young gay child, while this was a very important movie for me.
Yes.
Oh, I would watch this. Diane Cannon, boy.
Yeah.
I love she had to get a tissue replacement for her nose for a movie that took place in the 80s, like blatant coke
That
addiction.
is-
And I don't think you're allowed to name yourself Chow, white blonde lady. I mean, what the hell?
I think
Come
that was
on,
no. I
guys.
think that
Couldn't work.
I think she was like she had married into the Chow name. I think if I remember correctly.
Or is
But
it
I don't
spelled
remember. She's
because
like a
it's a
widow.
puppy thing? So is it spelled
Puppy Chow.
CHOW? Puppy Chow, right? That's
Yeah,
how I'm
it's CHOW,
guessing.
maybe.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She was adopted.
And then there was like a boy toy in there named Crack. It was good.
Crack. Well,
We'll
Yeah.
revisit that on another
but
day.
we can leave it.
TV movies actually were really like fundamental for me. Like Lifetime movies and like Joanna Kearns, those Judith
my
Light
God,
movies
yes.
were so like titles like She Cried No. A woman's burden. Meredith Baxter Burney. I think she's now just Meredith Baxter living her lesbian life.
Well, that was always the thing, right? That was when you referred to a Lifetime movie, it was always like, what is Meredith Baxter Burney in this? I mean, Meredith Baxter Burney was in hundreds of those
She's a
fucking movies.
fucking goddess. And
I
she was
mean,
unbelievable.
Yeah, if I was friends with her and there was a text tone, it would just be fa-dunk or whatever that sound is of punching in on the punch-in clock. Just that fa-dunk. It's me, Meredith. I'm here. Who am I being chased by today? Tom?
What is it? Is it bulimia today? Do I need to start a fire?
Oh God, I'm supposed to run from a person while I've got bulimia? Come on, guys, you're throwing a lot at me today. All right.
The Betty Broderick movies are like at a class of their own.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those are really, really good.
There was a period of time, I don't know if it was like NBC or if it was Fox or something, but there was a period of time where on Friday nights, one of the networks was airing these like very kitschy, kind of like romance novel TV movies, and I loved them. And
Remember it.
Do you remember those? There was one called The Secrets of Lake Success.
Oh, that sounds so familiar, but I can't remember which one of the big three were doing it. But
Well, this
Big
one's
Four.
called
Yeah.
The Great Lakes, this soap opera, so that's interesting.
So
Little
maybe they're
tie-in
all
to this show.
connected.
Maybe they're referencing that. I think though, like those movies back then, there was a lot of camp, but also, and I think what this movie missed is those movies played it seriously, or they played it. They try to play it not. Well, yeah, they took it seriously, even though they knew it was camp, because that is camp. Is that the actors think it's almost serious, and this like literally the winking at the camera or mugging to the like breaking the fourth wall.
The little glockenspiel that happened.
Yeah, it just,
Yeah.
I felt like this
Yeah.
movie would have worked so much better if we, I don't know, believe
It needed
the
more
actors.
camp.
Yes.
It tried to be
It
campy,
did.
but it needed more of the. It needed, well,
Needs
let's be
more
honest. It needed a
camp.
lot of things. It also needed like a proper script. Let's be honest.
Well, it needed
stakes.
bitchiness. I mean, you can get away with a lot, but if you just give us some bitchiness, that's what we're watching
yeah.
it for. We
Yeah.
all want to see these divas like being bitchy with each
Yeah.
other and dissing each other, and they wouldn't diss each other. Who cast Nicolette Sheridan to be a kind person? I want to meet the fucking person in Hollywood.
She was the Heart of Gold one.
Yeah.
Who? Nicolette Sheridan? She's like
No.
became famous for playing a Sidney Sheldon vixen and just went completely crazy from there. I mean, Desperate Housewives is probably her most recent huge thing. But come on, don't give me Nicolette and then make her nice.
Nicolette felt actually a little bit like an outlier in this cast. You
Yeah.
know, aside from the fact that she's I think she is actually younger. I feel like the vibe of this movie was look at these actresses that are more or less like out of the rotation, and it's not like Nicolette is doing a huge amount of stuff, but I don't know. I feel like even though I guess Desperate Housewives is coming in on 20 years ago at this point, but it feels like it was just yesterday. I feel like Nicolette is like not.
She's out of
doesn't
there.
need to do this movie.
She's a different league. It seems like she's had a career-wise. Seems like a bigger career after her soap career.
Yeah, I feel like that was a role that like maybe we could have given. That would have been a Kim Fields or Jack
Kim
Hay role.
Fields, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I love how I'm speaking very seriously all of a sudden. Guys,
we were very.
I know we're
this-
taking this very seriously, but
This
Jackie
movie
could
needed
have
Aaron O'Connell. Ben, that's what it needed. Aaron O'Connell,
it really
hot
did.
guy from whatever.
Can we just talk about? I think one of the main issues here, it may have just come from the network or something, is they kept saying we need more of the romantic young people to get get
Who gives a shit about them?
We need more of that, and so they said, so we're going to help the ladies are going to get them together, but like that's truly what kind of destroyed the momentum of the story. And and it just every time we go back to them, I'm like,
Well, I'll tell you what didn't destroy this movie in any way: Leg Day, because that guy did not do it.
He did not do that.
I thought he was naked typing. I thought
Honestly, that was the best. That was the best part of the movie.
I will say the best thing this movie had is that it was not just a little; it was gratuitous shirtlessness.
Yeah, from him,
And I guess
yes,
that's
and
why
like
they
it was
did it,
unexpected.
right?
Yeah, at least like they did that because speaking of Aaron O'Connell or the other, there's like a quick scene where the shirt's off. They walk into a room, but then they put the shirt on. This guy is just right. This was bravery, if you ask me, Ronnie.
Has there been anything less sexy than sexy typing, shirtless typing at a laptop?
Like, also, honestly, fairly inappropriate. You were at work, sir. And you've gotten yourself down to underwear.
That's an HR violation.
And you call a woman into your office whose name is Nell. I don't know where they got the name of fucking
Hey
Hey
in a
Nell.
wind, hey in a wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we not with Nell? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, and there's another reference like Nell Carter. I mean, granted, they couldn't have cast Nell Carter,
No, she is
RIP,
deceased.
but still. But now,
Give me a break.
loved her so. I went to see her as Miss Hannigan in Annie.
I bet that's
That's a really eerily accurate Nell Carter.
love
I heard
her.
she was fantastic in that.
She was pretty good. They were having to RIP. I'm so sorry to tell these stories, but we are telling old diva stories.
Yeah, we are.
They were having to like check her room allegedly back then for like coke and stuff. Like she was a mess while she was
Good for
doing it, I
her.
believe, but she was still so good. I mean, I grew up listening in the same time period of all these ladies. I grew up listening to A Misbehavin', obviously on a
Love
loop,
it.
and the hair soundtrack from the movie soundtrack. Oh my god,
she was in
she's
that
like
one,
a
yeah.
lead in that. Yeah, she's like the lead ensemble chick in that. She sings everything. Wow, God, I love you. Anyway, but Jodie Foster now, she couldn't really pull off Ain't Misbehavin', and I don't want her in this movie either.
Jodie Foster.
I do like to think of this though as like, okay, like the unofficial sequel to the movie Nell, which I never saw, but like I know it was like Jodie Foster was a woman who was like raised in the woods and has like
By
no
trees.
conception of
Yeah.
by trees, and it's like, okay, now she's been rehabilitated to civilization and she's directing a soap reunion.
I thought for me I kept blinking and seeing Evan Rachel Wood like the whole time, and I did look at this woman, and that's what kind of got me, and that's why I kept thinking at the beginning
There's a
that
fly crawling on your eyeball.
Yes.
There's a fly crawling on your eyeball.
that
I don't
she
know.
was more interesting than she actually was, and it turns out this woman was a child star who
Yes,
was in this.
she was-
Taylor
What was she in?
Ann Thompson. She was
Yes.
in like lots of little. She was in that movie, The Bucket List, with Jack
Right.
Nicholson. That was
Oh
her
my
big
gosh.
role. But the
That's
rest of it
iconic.
has been, the rest of it has been her as a child, and that she had like 2 or 3 other Lifetime movie credits. So they took a big swing on this woman.
I think
Yeah.
she
Yo.
used the one in
You know,
production.
I have to say, I did not see the Evan Rachel Wood until she took the hat off, because then she was like a whole new person. And then I was like, okay, now I see it. Now I see it.
Yeah, and she's not like other girls because she got purple hair, and
Yeah.
we know
I can't.
that
I
what
mean-
does purple hair says, y'all.
Hey, that back home where I'm from, it's a big. Did you hear about Lynette? She got purple hair. Oh my God! I hope she's not doing drugs, Darlene.
She's like
I
a lady
know.
of the 80s putting on a
Yes,
show.
it is a big deal.
living
that-
minute by minute.
And did the hot guy do anything? I don't think he did anything because everybody like.
I didn't
even-
look him up. He was so
I looked him up.
boring.
He's
to
like a
me.
model. He's like a
Yeah, there you go.
Australian actor, soap person.
Did
generic.
he have an accent in the first of the movie, and did it go away as well?
No, it was he had the accent all the way
like he-
through.
Why, if he's Australian, what's the choice to be British?
Because women love British men. They
But
think
why
there's
would
a
he
good
not be
behavior.
American?
It is weird. He does play the son of. Oh, it's interesting that
What?
he was his
He was
character.
British.
he was supposed to be
He
British.
started
I thought
off
he was
sounding
being
off British. It started off sounding British, but by the end he was definitely Australian.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
my
the other
accents
thing-
are just so bad. I just kind of mesh. I mean, Below Deck has really killed me. I don't know where anybody's from anymore. I'm just like a
Yeah.
Lucky Charms, asking for alms in Oliver Twist. Like
You don't- But
I just
I
mix
lo-
it all together.
You don't
I
see
love the idea
geography, Ronnie. You see people. You see people.
I love the idea that the soap opera, when it was in its heyday, was like, we need to cast a child for this show. Let's cast an Australian child. And have
That's
him
what
have
I
an
was
American
thinking.
Accent.
Yeah.
just the work violation issues of having to have an Australian child over here and like to have school, and then he decides to go to American college and meets this again. We can probably get into this later. I have so many questions about these two people's backstory,
Yes.
and
He
it
should
doesn't
have a
make sense to
twin
me.
brother, by the way. I think we all know he should have a twin brother because, like, the rule of like child actors in Hollywood is
Yes, you
they can
have
only
to.
work for so long, so you got to swap in that twin.
That's
you know?
true.
They should have a twin. Did you notice that the guy that played Linda Hamilton's husband,
Linda Gray.
Linda Gray's
Chris-
husband. I'm sorry.
Linda
Chris
Hamilton,
Crappens.
also a great choice.
He's from
Yeah.
He's from the Blue Lagoon.
The
movie.
Blue Lagoon.
Yes.
He was
Wait,
part
who
of my
was it? I thought it was
the
Bruce
blonde
Davidson.
guy that played. You thought it was who?
He looked like an alternate David Chokichi. Yeah.
Yeah, but a little more cat-faced.
Blue Lagoon. That was part of my sexual awakening. He had
But
sex
not
with
Brooke
Brooke
Shields.
Shields. Not Brooke Shields.
I think
I
that's
want-
I think that's very bad now because didn't Brooke Shields come out and say like that
Yes.
was like totally she
was-
was being exploited and stuff?
Yes,
and
she was
that?
being
I don't
exploited.
remember.
Yep.
I don't
will
remember
say-
that movie. I was too young, so
I never saw it, but I did see The Secrets of Lake Success, as previously mentioned. And guess who was in The Secrets of Lake Success? Ryan Phillippe.
Oh.
is that guy still
all-
hot? Let's look him up. Let me
Yes,
tell you who's
he-
hot.
Oh, yes, he's
Travis
very hot
Burns,
still.
the guy that you were like, oh, he's just a model. He's whatever. He's so basic.
He's hot.
Yeah, if that's basic, I'll fucking buy stock in that shit. Who sells basic? I love him. He's so cute. I don't even
cute.
care about your.
He was
I don't
cute.
care about missing leg day. I don't do leg day either, or upper day.
He's-
Maybe
I just thought he was boring as an actor. I think he's very hot.
He had a perfect nose. I loved his nose.
Well,
He
was
sort of was
also in
like a
Christmas
hot version of
Princess in
Penn
2019,
Badgley.
so-
I feel like
Oh.
I feel like he like it's like the promise of Penn Badgley is finally realized with this guy Travis Burns.
promise. I
You know?
always had a thing for Penn Badgley, mostly because of Dan. Dan, what's his name?
Oh, I hated Dan. Dan on Gossip Girl.
Gossip
Oh
Girl.
God,
But
he's so righteous.
I liked him. I liked him like poetic and like brainy and dreamy. But
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what
I
happened
like
to me.
Penn Badgley. I looked him up because I watched all of You. You know that show, You, the stuff where he's a stalker, and
Yeah.
it just says You. I'm watching you. I'm watching you walk into a store, and then they kind of make him like this romantic, charming, fucking
It was
stalker
one of-
murderer.
It was one of those shows that I watched, and I watched the first season, and I couldn't stop. And by the end of it, I kind of hated myself. But I had to
too.
finish it. I had to finish it. And if there's another season, I will watch it.
It's coming.
Well, because
Yeah, they're making another season.
Because that's your type of man.
Yeah, you kind of choke me and look at me in the eyes while you're doing it.
That's
And if
what
you
Jake
murder
likes.
me, that's what happens.
Jake wants
Sorry.
to get right to the edge. He wants to feel just a little unsafe.
Yeah, as long as I
Ryan
can say
Phillippe is still cute.
Pamplemousse.
Yeah,
Ryan
Ryan
Phillippe
Phillippe
still
is
got
still
it.
cute, and he still makes me feel unsafe. So let's go get him, Jake.
Have you
go
seen
get him, Jake?
His son is a carbon copy of him. Deacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
went
the-
to Nashville, and
Ava looks like Reese.
I went to Nashville
Yes.
a couple of weeks, and that whole town is an ode to. Well, I mean Dolly, of course. Everywhere's like, "Whoa, Dolly do." She would profit because, like, literally everything says her name. But also, do you know who's really big there? Her, Reese Witherspoon. Everywhere
Reese?
you go, yes. Like she has a show there. She has stores there. She has. They love their Reese over there.
Good
That's
for
just
her.
them. Lives there.
I love Biscuit Love. If you don't go to Nashville and don't go to Biscuit Love, you missed out. It's amazing.
Are they a sponsor?
Dude. Biscuit Love.
Biscuit
You're
Love is
all-
actually.
You always say things like they're a sponsorship. You do it on our pod.
Biscuit
I
Love
want
was-
to shout people out for doing good work.
It makes me furious because
Oh, please.
That was the original name. Biscuit Love was the original name of the soap within the soap.
You talk
the
so
80s.
much
They're like,
about
it's the
gun
final
oil
episode.
on our show and Pup Mask, and I don't say that you're advertising.
but I
for
don't
them.
try to sell them like you do. You like go to Biscuit Love.
Well-
I swear to God, it sounds like you have stock in them.
Speaking of Biscuit Love,
Well, wait.
let's
I just want to
show-
say, you want to know what you do sell constantly? Dick. Every time we talk to you on the show, I leave like, you know what I should be getting? More dick. Every single time. Like, you are the best advertisement for just going out and getting some dick. I have to say, use coupon code Reality Gaze for some dick.
Reality Gaze is brought to you by Dick.
So
I
let's
would
start
be very
recapping
happy.
this shit because we're just talking. We're just gabbing and driving everyone nuts.
It's been 40 minutes.
Making
Let's-
everyone
let's-
nuts. Anyone who is being made nuts is gone by now. And you know what? Good riddance. Hi, the
Someone
rest
tried
of
to
you.
do bingo cards of us now, and one bingo square would be they talk for 45 minutes and say,
Without
so that's
talking
the
about the
first
show."
2 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
Listen, we've never started the movie within the first episode of a
Ever.
Christmas.
Ever.
And we are
Ever.
kind of at the end of this one. So,
And I have to say,
everybody,
I have to say, this preamble has greater stakes than the movie itself. I have to
Exactly,
say.
it does.
Yes, it does.
So
I mean,
okay, so
listen.
the song that we've been singing that's still in my head. It's a great song, but little known fact, this movie starts with a different song. That's also pretty good. Did you guys
hold
write
on.
down?
We're going to start that with the new episode. Everyone, thank you
a
so
little
much
36
for listening to episode 1 of our Christmas recap. We're not breaking tradition. We will be back tomorrow with episode 2. You want these videos? Come find them on either one of our Patreons. Thank you so much for being here. We love you guys.
Bye.